This is a reading for Katy, Perry, and Orlando Bloom. So I think that when they first met each other, I get the feeling that that Katy was fairly closed off. That she was very cautious about getting into another relationship. But the flirting came on very strong. And from the flirting came the romantic feelings. And so she started to have these feelings for him, and he had these feelings for her. There wasn't any sort of issue there. But I think that she's so cautious because she's terrified of unrequited love. And I think that she's experienced this quite a bit, many times. And we all know that, you know, she's talked about it before, where, you know, that guy, I can't remember his name, there was some rapper guy that she dated a long time ago, and he like chose drugs over her, and of course, you know, what happened with Russell Brand when, I mean, like, he dumped her over a text message, and that was her husband. And then, you know, what happened with John Mayer, I think that, you know, like, when it finally got to John Mayer, like, and they both, like, realized that it wasn't true love, it wasn't gonna, like, be forever. She was already, like, her wall was already up, but she was already like, yeah, like, I'm used to this, like, I'm sure that I had a feeling that this was gonna happen, and it did. And so, like, she kind of went into the relationship with John Mayer kind of jaded, and I get the feeling that she left it kind of jaded because this has always happened to her. And so when she met Orlando, her wall was up big time, and she was very, very worried about this sort of thing happening again. Now, what I think happened was, well, I get the feeling that, like, she's, throughout all her relationships, but I get the feeling that it's more since the breakup with Russell Brand that she has spent a lot of time learning how to love herself first, and, like, how to not be overtaken and like lose herself, and become really strong in, like, knowing who she is and what she wants. So she's taken a lot of time to do this. So she's very also, like, protective of herself in that regard. So she met Orlando, the feelings were there, the flirting, you know, was beginning, and I think she didn't know what to do, and she was terrified of unrequited love, and I think that she didn't feel like it was safe for her to love. But I get the feeling that Orlando changed her mind a little bit about like love and the way things should be and the way someone should treat you. And I think she hadn't. I don't think she's ever met somebody like Orlando before, and I get the feeling that he's much deeper than she would have thought he would be, and that their relationship is pretty deep. His feelings run deep. So he's actually helping her to keep an open mind and to realize that it is safe for her to love, and that like this is not going to happen, and that, you know, she's not going to lose herself, and that she like is allowed to have these feelings and like to really be in love. And so I think it's really surprised her that like it's been this sort of eye-opening experience for her. And the only thing, though, is that I do get the feeling that she does need to release an ex. And I get the feeling that it's Russell Brand. Because I think Russell Brand, like, really, really, like, hurt her bad. Because, like, you know, that other guy that was, like, that chose drugs over her, like, that was a much younger relationship. And, like, I get the feeling it was, like, an immature relationship. But with Russell, like, she truly fell in love with him, and like she was devastated how like blasé he was about it, like to like dump her over text and like just like to like not care. Like she literally thought like he's her soulmate, he's her best friend, and so like to just callously like be like, I'm done, with like not a really good reason, like she like could not understand. And I think it messed her up big time. And that's why, like, you know, she went into her relationship with John Mayer like already thinking like, yeah, like this probably won't last. And so when it didn't last, she was like, yeah, that's expected. Like, you know, like she was so like, because that's how she like thinks about men and relationships after what Russell Brand did to her. So like that's how I get the feeling like that is how she started off things with Orlando. But Orlando like broke through her walls. And so she really needs to like really work to like let this go. Let Russell Brand go, because, and what he did to her, because like she needs to realize like it wasn't her, it was all him. And she, you know, she's taken a lot of time to like build up, you know, her love for herself. And, you know, she just needs to realize like time is now. Like it is safe for her to love again, and like she doesn't need to worry about this, and like, you know, and she needs to keep an open mind, and she needs to let these feelings grow. And I get the children card is here, and I do get the feeling that like a little bit like they're so like their feelings for each other, the way that like, you know, Orlando like helped open her up, and just like the way that they are together and the way they feel for each other, like it's kind of like they're kids again. It's like puppy love. So like they're in a really like fun, like great space right now, and they enjoy each other so much, and they make each other feel like kids again, which is great. I do also, but like this card I feel like has dual meaning, which is I get the feeling that she could get pregnant. And I'm interested to like see if that happens, because unfortunately this read doesn't really show anything further past that. So like if she does get pregnant, like from this read alone, they will stay together. Like there's no breakup in the future. Like there's only like her fears about what could happen, but like I don't see a breakup, and I see that they could get pregnant. So which I would think that they would still stay together. I don't know if they would get married, but yeah. So staying together and possible pregnancy in the future.